Welcome to Who Put This On, Episode 9, where we discuss Bar Rescue. And I'm Chris Lorenz, the host, and sitting to my left is...
Harrison Hoffman.
Sitting to his left is...
James Rohal.
Sitting to my right...
Robert Kitts.
And, I didn't come up with a Max thing.
We do need a Max thing. Ooh, he's in Tokyo, right? So there's got to be some sort of
He's
Tokyo.
Maxilla.
Maxilla.
Maxilla is not here this week. So filling in is...
Brian Houston.
Welcome back.
It's great to be back, Mr. Trebek.
Thanks. What episode did we watch? Season 4, Episode 3, I think.
Yeah, we watched whatever the latest episode is.
It was
It's
on Hulu. It said season 4, episode 3.
Yeah.
What was the name of the episode? Do we know?
Schmuck Dynasty.
Schmuck Dynasty. Yeah,
It's pretty good.
Sure.
we haven't addressed Duck Dynasty on this show yet. Maybe at some point we'll have to get down to that one.
No, it's there's a million shows. You just
Chris
add
is
a lot of
Chris is real
bottom
fired up for Duck Dynasty
list.
already.
I'm real excited.
That show's really bad. That's a terrible show.
I've actually
mean,
seen an episode of that one.
There's really no
We,
shortage of bad shows.
We should go out and play like the Duck Dynasty like Big Buck Hunter video game like as a part of that one.
What makes it Duck Dynasty themed?
It's the exact same game as Big Buck Hunter, except sometimes the characters from Duck Dynasty like introduce the rounds. It's great.
Sometimes, not all the time.
Just sometimes.
All right. So this episode, they had 3 brothers, and they owned this bar, and it was a real hopping place.
Should we
not
talk
doing
about
the
what the
intro?
show is first?
All right.
We're just gonna get right into
Are we
it.
skipping the
Right.
intros now?
All right, Brian, or James, you want to go to the intro?
Brian's got it.
All right, so the description from Hulu is, bars mean money, but they also mean stress. Jon Taffer is a bar and nightclub owner who currently owns one of the most respected consulting firms in the industry. Jon will travel around the country employing his expertise to turn around struggling bars. They really dropped the ball on his other title in the Nightclub Hall of Fame.
It's true.
Jon Taffer, Nightclub Hall of Fame inductee.
Wait, is he not the founder of the Nightclub Hall of Fame?
No. He's just in it.
No, it's founded by 2 random people.
Oh.
There's just 2 people who made a website called nightclubhalloffame.com, which is no longer around. And Jon Taffer's in it, and like it's in his like official bio and stuff. So I feel like he's proud of it, but I don't know.
Where's this official bio?
I think that it was like on Jon Taffer's website or something.
Oh, okay.
Who else is in the Nightclub Hall of Fame?
Lil Jon's in the Nightclub Hall of Fame, and I think like Steve Wynn probably like some people like that probably in the Nightclub Hall of Fame.
Yeah, wasn't the like premiere party holding out the win? So like obviously he's got to.
Yeah, I don't know.
You got to get the Steve Wynn in.
Well, the
So
Nightclub Hall of Fame
there?
Facebook page just has like a promotional video for like Paris nightclub in Vegas.
Yeah.
It's a really long promotional video with a bunch of girls in bikinis dancing in the pool.
No,
which
it
is
was
nothing like Paris nightclub.
No, it was. I don't know what Paris nightclub is, but
Oh, I mean, there is a pool. It's a rooftop. It's under the mini Eiffel Tower.
yeah. So
It's that.
So I know the Paris Hotel. There's
a nightclub.
There's a nightclub in that hotel.
Yeah. So you go up. It's like you go to the second floor, whatever that building is.
It's called Chateau.
Chateau.
Yeah,
Okay.
Chateau.
See, because I thought that video was like from the club at the Aria or something. I don't know.
Oh no.
But like,
anyways.
So anyway, there's a video on this Facebook page that is so the thing you thought was the hype video for the club is actually the induction ceremony for the Nightclub Hall of Fame.
Right, which didn't show anything.
Well, it was just some guy standing in front of like a step and repeat getting a plaque in like half second, then just girls in bikinis and butts.
Yeah, mostly the same 3 girls in various bikinis in different locations in and around the Paris nightclub.
That sounds pretty similar to the show, actually. it's various faking shots of random things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Totally.
So we got Jon Taffer, who's this kind of nightclub and bar expert. And I was reading a little bit about him on Wikipedia when I saw this Nightclub Hall of Fame thing. And apparently he's also credited with inventing NFL Sunday Ticket. That's like one of his that's like his big claim to fame is that he invented the concept of NFL Sunday Ticket, which is pretty cool. Like
what do you mean? You invent watching all the games at once?
And paying
No,
shit tons of money for it.
He invented the concept of like making that a package that like bars can buy because he was working for like the NFL or whoever at the time. Yeah,
That makes sense, yeah.
yeah.
So is that originally how that started then? Was that a bar thing only and then it became consumer?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
bet-
so
I
like,
bet so.
yeah, so it's like it used to be. You can like kind of only get it in a bar, and then
They'd
there's
have,
like
a
maybe
bar
people
license
want
or
this.
something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Interesting. I do enjoy Sunday Ticket, but I don't really enjoy paying so much for it.
yeah.
That's the thing.
No, for sure.
But anyways, moving on.
Yeah. So should we go over this episode, or we want to talk more about this terrible concept? Well, actually, the concept's pretty cool. Like, like seeing random bars and being like, hey, if you do this, it could be better. You know, do these couple things to be better. But it turns into more of like, hey, you have this kind of dive bar. Let's turn you into a wine bar.
Yep.
And like, we're not going to change any of the personnel.
So what's really interesting is I've seen a bunch of this show actually, and more so from like the first season. And what's really interesting is comparing that to what season 4 we're on, right?
Yeah.
They made a lot more emphasis on like bar science is what they termed it in the first season, and they would actually like explain the reasonings and how he did the research and kind of all the ins and outs of how they came up with the suggestions. And that just didn't happen in this episode. I feel like they've just moved on from that whole thing and just like we're just gonna have a bunch of stage drama.
Well, people
I don't know. Like there was still some like bar
Right.
science kind of stuff.
But they didn't really go in deep. Like if you watch like the first couple of episodes of this show, like they actually like explain like the height of bar stools and like why you need certain types of glasses and like what your target demographic is, and you should do this research and like figure out all these things. And then it's kind of fast tracked all of this stuff. And it was just kind of like, all right, we're just going to show the bar and a bunch of crazy stuff's going to happen.
Yeah. So I mean, that's definitely the most interesting part of the show is when they kind of have this real world sort of bar. No, not the drama. Like the bar science stuff is the most interesting part of the show.
Okay.
Don't judge me. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like Harrison would enjoy the other part more than
No,
that.
the bar science stuff is way better. Like it's, I mean, and like they kind of did that in this episode. There's like, hey, you're in Staten Island and like all like
Perceived value.
yeah, like all the houses are like worth more than $600,000, and some are more than like 1.5 million. So there's like you got to have a classy establishment to get these people. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. But when you're a dive bar, you can't just take the same people making a wine bar.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the common theme with a bunch of these episodes is like they take people who are running a particular kind of establishment that they wanted and intended to run, and then turn their business into something totally different they don't know anything about, and probably don't know how to run it all.
Well, they didn't really know how to run their current business anyway.
I guess that's true.
Whoa. I feel like if it did turn into a biker bar, they could probably have like known how to like run like just like a dive rock bar.
I
So
don't
you're
know.
saying if it wasn't a biker bar, they could deal with it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like the bikers just came in and was like, I can bench you, all 4 of you at once. So let me in that kitchen. I'm gonna make some chicken nuggets right now. And
Yeah,
like they just don't know how to deal with that.
Yeah, those guys were in desperate need of some security in that bar. They just didn't have any. Yeah.
Right. I feel like with this show in particular, there's about 3 phases of the show. There's the initial like reconnaissance phase where there's like these like hidden cameras, and they always show the same cut of these supposed hidden cameras, and they're like giant like trash can size hidden cameras in the ceiling where like clearly those weren't there before.
There's pretty much no way that they can do that surveillance without the people who run the bar knowing. And, and like it's kind of set up like we're gonna do this secret surveillance. We're gonna send some mystery customers and do this thing. But then so then there's some of those kind of quote unquote security camera shots. But there's also like shots from people
Just in the bar,
with like an
just like-
over the shoulder kind of camera too.
Yeah.
Like
and
yeah.
then like it kind of just transitions to the okay, how are we gonna fix the bar? And then there's kind of the wrap up of here's the bar and its kind of potential kind of working, and then there's a 6 month or 6 week later kind of thing. And that's essentially the whole kind of.
So you
show
said
by the
there's
end.
3 phases.
Yeah.
Kind of like 3 acts. Kind of
Sure.
like it's kind of like a 3 act thing.
Sure.
There's like a beginning, middle, and end.
There really is
to this show.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, can you explain more of the middle? I feel like you didn't do a good job of explaining the middle.
Maybe we should talk about the specifics of this episode a little bit.
No, we got to talk about more about.
We
you
get-
know,
I mean, the show's
I need
pretty
to know more.
formulaic. It's I don't know. I feel like after you've seen 2 episodes, they're all essentially the same.
Well, it's all about Jon Taffer getting mad because
Yeah.
there's ice in the chicken nuggets.
Yeah, so he finds all the flaws and like all the things that are like causing the bad, and most of them are usually like sterile reasons or like health code violations, food, like just general bad things you don't want to have happen at a bar or restaurant or any sort of establishment.
Some sort of yellow ice and
Right.
ice.
There's usually Jon Taffer coming in real hot, yelling at a bunch of people, and then they create some sort of drama with the people on the show. And then they usually go into some sort of like little backstory, and then just kind of goes into okay, here's how we're gonna fix the bar.
And then somehow they construct an entirely new inside of a bar in like
3
2
days.
days. Yeah.
Yeah.
In like
Which
an
must be
hour.
insane. Yeah.
I mean,
So-
they obviously come with a whole crew and they pay for it or whatever.
No,
but,
it's still super fast even if you have a whole crew. That's
yeah, I don't know.
You don't think so?
Oh no. I mean,
Like I feel like they
just-
must have done
yeah.
like a really shitty job on a lot of that stuff, and like it kind of looks good on camera, but like if you really get into it, it's probably not that good.
So, James, could you write an episode of this for us? Could you
Yeah, I mean, you just get a bunch of fake actors, and you're like, all right, here's your bar, here's a piece of shit, we're just going to put a bunch of gross stuff everywhere, and Jon Taffer's going to come in and yell at you for a while, and then we're going to clean it up, and then we're going to invite all these people here and show why you can't run it.
So I actually don't think that the producers are putting the gross stuff in the bar. Like,
Yeah,
I think
that's
that's
true.
just how the bar is.
Right.
In some cases,
they
they're-
could be planning some things. I feel.
I don't know. Like, it just seems kind of unnecessary. Like, there's enough gross fucking bars. Like, why do you even need to do that?
Yeah.
Why do you need to put a raccoon in the bar?
That's a great
that,
question.
That seemed pretty staged to me.
The raccoon clip.
Do we got to be clear that that's not in this episode?
Yeah, that's not in this episode.
Yeah, we're not discussing. All right, so do you want to go over this particular episode?
Yeah, we should. So essentially, there's this bar in Staten Island. These guys bought this bar from someone for like $50,000, and it was going great. They were like killing it, doing really good business, making a lot of money. Making
Rhythm and blues.
Rhythm and blues, making like $80,000 a month, like doing a really, really good job. And then all of a sudden, some biker gang, which did anyone notice what the name of the biker gang was? Maybe what the biker gang was? They were the Staten Islands. Like, that's the worst fucking biker gang name I've ever heard. Like, at risk of the Staten Island biker gang coming to murder me. Like, that's a horrible name for their biker gang.
Harrison's
man.
calling out the Staten Islands on this podcast.
Yeah, if anyone from the
Harrison.
Staten Islands is listening,
They're coming right for you. They're starting right now.
It's true. I mean, that was your
Come at me,
first
bro.
cue that it was staged activities happening on the show.
so you think that the biker gang is fake?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, I don't think that they're fake.
Yep.
I don't think that's the case.
There's a lot of things with this show that were fake in this episode.
So-
See, I would agree with you if they showed up at the end, which they did not do.
yeah. Well,
Like,
I don't know.
Like, if it was really fake, at the end, like, to prove that they're now, like, the masters of their own bar, when one of them was coming in, one of the brothers would have stepped up and just fucking thrown him out of the bar, and never come back! Whatever. And, like, then it would have been,
That's exactly what would have happened if that was all.
But maybe
Right.
the point is, now that they've rebranded the bar, the bikers don't even want to go there anymore because they're going for the higher clientele now.
the
I guess.
perceived, what was the word they kept using? in the show?
perceived value.
Perceived value, yeah. The bikers don't have the perceived value on the bar anymore.
Yeah, so Jon Taffer is watching this bar, and he has a big deal about the bartender using the top glass,
Yeah,
like
that's
to
dangerous.
shake the drink, because if she drops it, glass shatters everywhere. And then she used it to strain the drink, which was set down somewhere, so it was real unsanitary.
Yeah, well, she also flipped. So she was like shaking with her hand on top of the glass. Then she flipped the glass over and kind of put it in the drink to strain it, which like was contaminating the drink.
No, yeah.
Yeah, but like to be fair, like bartenders like will like squeeze like a lime in your drink with their hand all the time. So like I mean like there's some level of unsanitary bar stuff going on, right?
Right, but you have to hope that their hands are clean.
You gotta hope,
know,
but
right.
like they're.
There's a lot of hope.
But like they're
there.
making drinks, they're handling money, they're making drinks. Like they're not washing their hands after they touch money every time.
I think the bigger concern with the glass was that the glass was just sitting on the bar.
Yeah.
and
Or-
that's extremely gross.
Or in the cooler with yellow ice.
yeah.
Also that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then he also had a big deal about the kitchen,
Well, the kitchen was the real shit show.
because the bikers, whether they be real or not, were going into the kitchen and making their own food and touching the food and leaving it in the freezer to be freezer burned.
Yeah, the biker just
It's
walked in
just-
there and started grilling some burgers up.
It seems like such a huge liability to have just random people. Like they're using the fucking deep fryer and stuff. Like that seems so dangerous.
They had a high flame on those burgers too. Like,
Oh,
they
yeah.
they were doing a lot of risky maneuvers.
And like the poor just cook in this kitchen is like, I don't know what to do. There's like all these bikers in this kitchen. I can't make my pizzas the wrong way. Like
yeah,
I don't.
Pablo did not know how to make pizza.
Pablo
at
was
all.
doing cheese first and then sauce.
Well, according to somebody that I've read an internet comment of, said that that's like a thing that you can do in like Ocean City, New Jersey, or something. So like, I don't know. It sounds like
Wait,
a
wait,
terrible
wait.
pizza.
Where's Max? We need him. Apparently, this is a New Jersey style.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Well, now we know why it's shit because it's from New Jersey.
Oh man! Oh man!
Shots fired.
man.
Max Zilla's gonna come after you.
It's
Bring it on.
Oh, man.
Oh man!
Brian is going to take on Max Zilla. Fresh out of Tokyo when he gets back.
Where's Mothra when you need him?
Yeah. I think you're Mothra in this
Yeah.
situation.
Oh shit!
Brythra.
All right, where-
Brythra-
You are-
Brythra
Where's the nearest
versus
nuclear
Max.
power plant?
Oh man.
Oh, no. There's probably one.
Nuclear? I don't know.
No,
Montana.
there's
All
not
right,
anyone
well,
near.
there's probably a
Not
nuke
near
around.
us.
I can go hit that up.
I mean, like, there's probably some nuclear power plants around us.
No,
Maybe.
No.
I think they're mostly hydro here.
I
right?
feel
Yeah,
like
Washington's
those
pretty big
old-
on hydro.
Yeah.
So I feel like those old Godzilla movies like really don't hold up at all. Like, have you seen any of them?
They're great.
They're horrible.
Well, not like the new like remakes with like Matthew whatever his
no,
face is,
like
or...
Matthew Broderick was
Yeah.
really terrible.
Yeah.
But like the old black and white ones from Japan with all the dubbing,
they're
like
pretty
those
funny.
those super don't hold up at
Pretty
all.
funny.
Oh, it's great.
They're hilariously bad.
Okay, all right. Jon Taffer also.
So who do you think would win in a fight, Jon Taffer or Godzilla?
How about Jon Taffer Godzilla or Mecha Godzilla?
Oh shit,
What if Godzilla owned a bar?
Oh man.
dude, that would be an interesting bar, Godzilla themed bar.
So who are the customers? Are they just regular people or are they other Godzilla type creatures?
Well, you got to figure out what the perceived value is first.
The perceived value is that he can like make fucking creme brulee with his breath, like that kind of stuff. I would go to that bar.
Oh man,
All
flaming
flaming
shots,
Flaming shot, all flaming shots, yeah.
flaming
It's a,
shots.
it's a shot bar.
Does Jon Taffer approve of flaming Dr. Peppers?
I'm sure that Jon Taffer does not approve of flaming shots because they're illegal in the U.S.
I don't know about that actually. I'm pretty sure on the show there was an episode where they did like a flamed like drink that like it wasn't on fire, but they like put some liquids in a cup and then they toasted the top of it. or
No,
something.
yeah, I mean, yeah,
I don't know what
The other
that's
thing is
called.
they're
That's
not
called
illegal in the
something.
U.S.
yeah, they are.
No, because there's
Flaming
like
shots? You cannot serve flaming
there's a
shots
bar in
in
New
the
York that
U.S.
serves like a lot of those specialty drinks, right?
You
I
can't
don't
serve.
know. I
is it a
haven't
state
been there.
thing?
You can't serve flaming shots in the U.S.
I'm
It's
I
so
mean,
fucking
I was,
dangerous.
I mean, I was in Spain and I went to a flaming shot bar,
right.
I've definitely
and they
been-
said that there's one in New York City that's based off of the one that we are like the one in Spain.
I mean, because I've definitely been to places in Europe where they do it, but I don't think it's legal in the U.S.
I don't know. All right,
Do we have a resident lawyer with us yet?
Not yet.
Damn it!
You text
One of
him.
these days.
We're working on it.
so Jon Taffer sends the chef in to make his own pizza. So he just walks into the back, makes his own pizza and
Without
brings it
telling
back.
the
Yeah.
owners, yeah.
Yeah.
Just like the
just
bikers.
struts in.
Just like the bikers. There was no bikers in the kitchen though at the time.
I feel like that guy was way overdressed for everyone else in that bar. Like I feel like he stuck out.
He stuck out a lot.
Yeah.
yeah, this is a dive bar
Yeah.
with
So
a
he
bunch
just
of
walks in
bikers
and
in
goes,
it.
"What's up, Pablo? I'm gonna make a pizza. Here's how you put the sauce first, you idiot."
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Has that guy ever eaten a pizza? Like, why would he put the sauce on top of the cheese?
I don't know.
I don't understand.
I mean, Pablo did say he never had any formal training.
No, that's what they said.
That was clear, I think, from his pizza making abilities.
Do you need formal training to make a goddamn pizza?
Wait,
Seriously?
maybe he had
It's
formal
New
New
York.
Jersey training. Remember?
Yeah, that's-
It's unclear if this was an incorrect pizza or just a different style.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
But according to Bar Rescue, he just didn't know how to make pizza.
I mean, I'm gonna agree with that.
Then Jon Taffer doesn't really go in and yell at them.
Yeah, so generally in the show, he's kind of sitting in his SUV outside looking at this surveillance footage, quote unquote, and at some point he just gets pissed and just storms into the bar really hot and starts yelling at everyone. And this one, he was a lot more calm when he came in. He just kind of came in and then like he started becoming like, "Hey guys, I'm Jon Taffer. Your shit's fucked up." And then he kind of started to escalate a little bit, but
He forces them to kick everyone out of the bar.
yeah, for sure. In
Well, he
5
gives-
minutes.
He gives them an arbitrary 5-minute time limit, and the show makes a real big deal when it takes them 6 minutes.
There's a
to kick
timer.
everyone out of
6
the bar.
minutes is pretty fast. Like when he says 5 minutes, oh man, this is gonna take like a half hour.
Right.
It was like 6 minutes.
People
I'm
were
like,
literally in the bar, eating, drinking, like carrying on, playing pool, and it was like get everyone out in 5 minutes.
Yeah, and they had to like set up all their checks and like the whole thing. Yeah,
yeah. If you got an open check, oh my god, so many issues with that.
I thought that was pretty great.
Again, more reasons to think the show is staged.
I also felt like people were having fun in the bar. Like it didn't seem like an.
It seemed like a pretty good biker bar.
there were a lot of people in the bar. Like I don't know if the bikers were just stealing from the bar.
They were just pouring themselves pictures and
Yeah.
going, "I got this."
Right. So like, I feel like if you could figure out how to charge the bikers, you kind of already got a pretty big clientele there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you are already getting run over by them. Like they don't respect you at all.
Sure. I mean, you gotta get some security. You gotta get a rival biker gang
Oh no.
to run security
oh,
for
no.
you.
No,
Like
that's
a-
not what you
like-
do.
Note to self: never let
Like,
Harrison run a bar.
some kind of a Hell's Angels situation in there, maybe.
You just pull a Marine with his like body armor and like standing right next to like the kitchen bar area. Like
We're bringing
Don't
armed
even
forces
dare.
into this thing now.
It's what you need.
Like bringing in another rival biker gang is not what you want.
I
There's just
don't
gonna be a
think
lot
what
of
you want
fights.
is a military versus biker bar battle in your bar. I don't think that's what you want.
No, it's just one Marine. I'm not saying you bring the Marines.
So you just want one
Yes.
to beat up all these bikers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What? There's so many problems with that.
Okay, what are the problems with that?
Oh my god, I can't even.
You can't even
You
have
can't-
one
you
problem.
can't even- one, no
But
one.
James, if you believe in yourself, you can even.
Can't even what?
You can even.
So you're telling me you're just gonna go out, find a random Marine, and be like, "Yo, we got this biker bar problem.
What do you want? You want to go hire like
Can you
8
beat 'em all up for
bodyguards?
us?"
The only thing
It's
Chris
all
is
about
saying,
perceived value.
Yeah,
okay?
they're also not allowed to beat people up.
No, they're ex-Marine, not like a current Marine.
it's the same thing as hiring any kind of private security. He just happens to have been a Marine. It's not any different.
So you just want.
It's all about perceived value,
Oh
James.
my god. Okay, sure.
It's like perceived badassery.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Why don't
like-
you just get a couple
like
of
that guy's
hitmen
gonna-
and just start taking people out?
I don't think they
Yeah,
want to kill
but
anyone.
then
I don't
why
know
you
what
don't
why
get
not?
their
According to
money.
you guys are out of your mind.
You need their money. Like you
I mean-
just killing people, you're not getting any of their money.
But they don't want the biker gangs.
You want to
money.
break their kneecaps, is what you want to do. Send them a
yeah,
message.
just send them a message that they can't be walking
Jesus.
over them anymore.
Remind me never to piss Chris off because
Yeah.
he's just
I mean-
gonna go real mafia on you.
That might also be the most cost-effective solution. You don't have to keep having the security guard around. They're just permanently done.
Yeah. Well,
You can't just go around busting kneecaps. You got crazy people.
no, that it would be cheaper. Like you bust a couple kneecaps, then you don't need to have security anymore because they're already scared of you.
So it's a cost benefit thing.
It's a cost benefit analysis, really.
Oh my god.
So I don't really know that much about biker gangs, but I get the impression that biker gangs don't have to pay for things a lot in bars. Like they just kind of roll in and take over and just kind of start pouring themselves beers like they did in this situation, right?
One benefit of that, though, is that free security. Because nobody's going to fuck with that bar.
Yeah, but
Yeah, no
what's
one's
gonna
gonna
fuck
bikers
with?
will.
No
Yeah,
one's
the
gonna go in
the
that
50
bar.
bikers hanging out are just destroying everything. Shooting fireworks off in the bar was one of the examples, which again I really high believe was staged.
Like, who just randomly does that? Just, lights off a firecracker and just throws it behind the bar.
I mean, that didn't seem outside the realm of possibility to me.
I guess I don't know a lot of bikers. I don't know if that's a biker thing where people do that. But,
No,
No,
that's
it's not.
a thing.
It's not.
If
I've been to a decent number of biker bars, and none of them were nearly as bad as that.
There's
Did you
anything-
go into any of the kitchens in these biker bars?
No, that's because you don't go into the kitchen when you don't work there.
If you're a biker, though.
No, I mean I'm not a biker, but
should we
no.
start our
No.
own biker gang?
like bicycle gang. We could do that.
It's just a
Segway
plot.
gang.
Maybe.
What about a Hot Wheels gang or not a Hot Wheels? Big Wheel. That's the word. That's the one I was looking
Big
for.
wheel gang?
Big Wheel
Yeah, maybe.
Is this just a plot to take over a bar that we try to go to and not pay for drinks? Is
Yeah.
that the whole end game?
Yeah, it'll be great. We can have our own biker gang. We can call ourselves the Seattles, and then we can just go get free drinks in a bar. It'll be amazing.
Okay.
I see no flaws in that plan. Let's go.
All right,
I don't know about
I'm
this.
gonna get the jackets made for next week.
Yeah.
We'll be good to go.
All right. So after Jon Taffer goes in and yells at these people, he gives them some tips, and then they go through a stress test, which is them using these new tips to not be like a jackass and be able to run their bar like a normal person, aka not let the bikers get free shit.
And it's actually a little bit weird in this case because this bar already has like a lot of people coming through. Like usually in the show, their bar is just fucking empty. There's no one in it, and then there's like we're gonna bring a shit ton of people in here and see how you perform with a lot of people in here. But like it kind of just went the same as it was going before, you know.
Yeah, well, the one dude brother couldn't find where the food was going to.
Yep, that was a problem.
I think we got to talk with Stu a little bit. Stu was an interesting character.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Stu had this huge beard at the first part, and then the stress test part, he told him he had to come in, look like he was ready, to handle shit. Which I felt the beard already did that, but then he came with a shaved head and like a trimmed beard.
I feel like he just should have shaved the head and left the beard because it's a real, solid biker look.
Jon Taffer was like, "You shave that beard."
Yeah.
It's like the fact that he still had some beard was already like pushing the boundaries.
For sure. I was like, he's not clean shaven. Jon Taffer's gonna get on him.
Though Jon Taffer liked that beard look. He was like, now he looks like a guy who owns a bar.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, which I don't really know he does because he like lives under the bar. Was that?
Well, he was technically homeless, is how he would describe himself. And his dream in life was to own a studio apartment.
Like, was it to
Yeah.
own a studio apartment or just to live in?
Just
a
to
studio?
live in his own.
Just to have.
It
Rent
was
studio.
his. It had to be his studio apartment.
So like he rented it.
Right.
I guess he could have
He
rented
just,
it.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So he's dreaming real high.
So there were some amazing exchanges between Stu and Jon Taffer.
There really
They're
were.
just barking back and forth at each other. It's like, hey, are you gonna improve yourself? Make this bar better? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get my apartment. I'm gonna shade this beer. He's just like
Stu
all
was
episode.
really fired up about the thought that he was going to make something of his life.
yeah.
And so every time Jon Taffer's like, how do I know you're going to do this? Stu's just like takes it to another level. It's just like, you have no idea how much I believe in this. It was crazy.
He was fired up. At some point, to prove how committed he was, he threw out the couch that he sleeps on in the basement, which seemed very short-sighted.
Certainly did.
I'm
I
sure
really
he's
want to know where that
sleeping
guy
on it.
slept that night.
On the floor because his
The
couch.
concrete
he
floor.
probably went and grabbed the couch from the alley and brought it back in.
You mean the hotel room that the show probably provided for him?
For what, a couple of the days? I mean, you know.
Just for that night.
I
They're like,
guess.
here's what we're going to do. We're going to throw out your couch you sleep on, and then we're going to give you a hotel room for the next 2 nights until you, like, figure out which brother's house you're going to sleep at or something.
So
I'm gonna
ridiculous.
throw this out there that he just went back to his regular apartment where he was an actor.
Yeah.
Not on this show.
There's no way that guy was an actor.
I
was
searched his
a
name on IMDb and didn't find it. So,
Right, that means he's an actor. Because he's using a fake name.
could have
For
been
the
using
show.
a fake name.
Yeah, you wouldn't use your real name.
I don't know. He was very different from the other two brothers. It
Well,
just
the other 2 brothers were twins, and he was not a
Right.
twin.
But I mean,
that doesn't mean he's not their brother.
no, for
That's
sure.
true.
But
Are you sure about that? I don't.
But if
I don't know.
if my brother was homeless, I'd offer him like, a spot on like my couch, not like some random couch on the alleyway.
You need to give him some tough love at some point. He's got to get his life together. Instead of offering him to sleep on your couch, you just make him the manager of your bar, and that'll solve all the problems.
Yeah, and not pay him enough to live in a studio apartment.
No.
because that bar is hemorrhaging money. They're
they were losing $7 or $8K a month.
there's $700,000 in debt from this bar.
Right.
Yeah, but like leading up to this point, how long has he been homeless?
2 years. He said 2 years.
And then he laughed. 2 years. Ha ha. I was like, what? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I wouldn't be that happy about that.
Anyways.
So for 2 years, this guy never went to his brothers and said, "Hey, I don't really have an apartment right now."
He was
You
sleeping
think-
in the bar.
So
do you
for-
think I could get paid or something? Like, can we get like this bar enough so I could get a studio apartment?
Well, like, I think that what happened is they made him one of the owners, right? So he has like a stake in it, right?
Yeah, he has a stake in it, so they're just not paying him for all his time.
Well, so when you're fucking hemorrhaging money and you're an owner,
I
you
understand.
don't take a salary, right? Because you don't have any money to take the salary from.
All your money is in
It's,
the bar.
it's a business expense.
Is this like an old internet startup where they're just paying him in worthless stock?
Yeah, it's just have another 5% equity. You're good.
It's
It'll be
real-
worth
real
something someday.
crazy.
Yeah.
All right. So during the stress test, the bikers come back and, they try to kick him out. They won't leave. So then Jon Taffer makes him kick everyone out of the bar. And that pretty much ends the stress test.
Now, I totally thought that one brother was going to get hit by one of those bikers, and I was literally praying for a fight.
No.
Literally?
Literally.
Like, I didn't see you here on your knees. Like,
I mean, it was in my head. Like, I mean, you can pray in different ways, right?
yeah. But
I was
I want to
I was
see you
praying.
praying the next time.
I was praying to Jon Taffer. There's gonna be a fight in this bar. He's who I pray to.
man.
I think you're worshiping false idols there.
Oh no! Here's my favorite part about Jon Taffer. Like when he gets worked up, it like especially in kind of the one-on-one videos of him with the camera, like the interviews, he gets really worked up and his eyes start to bug out, and it looks like he's gonna have a heart attack.
Oh, yeah.
Every time he starts yelling, this guy's about to die right now.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Certainly does.
It's yeah. Thanks for your comment, Chris.
I mean, Jon
gotta
Taffer
put-
has some issues on this show, and I believe also in some real life issues as well, as I've been led to believe.
Yeah, we've heard he has some anger management issues.
Yeah, I would not be surprised after
Not
seeing
shocking
this show.
at all.
It's just Jon Taffer just yelling at people for a little bit, And, the bar has some problems, and then, I don't know. Majority of the bars don't work out in the end. So I hate to ruin that one for you. But most of these don't work out.
I want some kind of a Jon Taffer versus Gordon Ramsay show where they both just yelling for the entire
some sort
show.
of like Hell's Kitchen, Team A versus Team B, who can like make the best bar kitchen nightmare.
So maybe it's kind of like The Voice, where like they're each like people who have like a team kind of situation. Yeah.
That would be great.
The world has enough Jon Taffer. He's fine. We don't need any more, to be honest.
Are you sure?
He doesn't
Yeah.
need to be like Gordon Ramsay and have 8 different TV shows.
No, he
You
really.
mean he takes
really
over? He's
doesn't.
like literally on Fox every night.
Like Fox is basically the Gordon Ramsay channel, and like they just put aside an hour for something else once a week.
He like also has like some British shows too. Like I was watching one on Netflix. Like he has some ones from.
I mean, they all come from like his British shows.
Yeah, I guess I don't
They
know
all
much about
started
Gordon Ramsay.
British shows when they came. Anyway, after the stress test, Jon Taffer made over this bar and turned it into a bar called Fifth and Vine.
Yep.
And bought this really expensive wine thing,
Wine dispenser.
wine dispenser
Yep.
that keeps the wine at the right temperature and
And pressurized with nitrogen so that it no oxygen actually enters the bottle, so it doesn't age.
It doesn't spoil.
the
Like it's
wine,
still
yeah.
aging like it would be in the bottle. It's just not spoiling.
Right.
Uh,
So every drop that comes out is pure profit.
They also got some new stools
Yeah.
that are
Which are
lighter
lighter.
than the last ones, but look sturdier.
Yep.
Perceived value.
I
as
mean-
I like to say.
I mean, like I know you're ripping on the perceived value thing a lot, but that's actually a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah, but like every other episode, he's never mentioned perceived value. So this is the perceived value episode.
yeah, I mean that's really the
they're
point.
just really focusing on that word, but that is definitely a trend in the other episodes I've seen at least. They definitely go in and be like, okay, you need bar stools at a certain height with a certain shape. You need to feel a certain way, like etc. This one he just went on about the weight and kind of gave the car analogy.
Yeah,
Which
but he
is
he
definitely
would
a
just
fair
said
analogy.
perceived value, not
For
like
sure.
it should be at this height because people that drink wine like
Yep.
it to be this height so that they are next to their glasses or.
Well, I mean,
whatever.
like his point around, hey, if I have like some scotch and I put it in this plastic cup, like I can on this shitty bar on this shitty stool, like I can only charge a certain amount. But when I put it like in a nice glass, a nice bar with nice stools, like you can charge however much more, and that's totally true.
Yep.
if like a model was the bartender,
Sure.
you could also charge more.
It's fine. Yeah, it's like it's a classic thing where it's like you see like some random painting like on James's wall here, and then you see that same painting in like the MoMA, and it's like it's like the value's a lot different, right? So,
What are you saying about my walls here? They're not very good for paintings?
You have
I'm
low
just saying.
perceived value.
I guess
in
apparently
this
I have low
apartment.
perceived value in my apartment walls.
I'm saying that in terms of art,
Sure, fair.
compared to the MoMA potentially, yeah.
Fair,
Yeah.
So, Chris, are you advocating Jon Taffer should have had them fire all their employees and get new employees?
I'm just saying, turning into a dive bar into a wine bar takes more than just changing the aesthetics. Like you have
Yeah.
to like.
That's definitely a trend with this show.
You can't just take your shitty dive bar bartender and put them into a wine bar. That's just not a thing you can do. Like they have to dress better. They have to wear better makeup. They have to do you have to give them a makeover too, which doesn't happen.
Sure.
Well, they were definitely dressed better.
Well,
I do
yeah.
feel like it is easier to serve wine though. Like you have to know more things, but essentially you're just especially when you have that wine dispenser, you're just wine on tap. You're good to go.
Yeah.
It's real easy.
Well, I guess the good thing in this one is they didn't try to overcomplicate the bartending part of it because,
Oh, yeah.
usually in the show they like bring in like a mixologist and they're just like, "Hey, we're going to teach you how to make some crazy craft cocktails," and the bartenders are not capable of making them because they're really complicated.
They only had the one craft cocktail. This time.
Yeah. And like it was a pretty easy one to make, but like there was one I saw where like they like the entire bar was like smoke themed. It was like barbecue and all this stuff, and like they gave the bartender this machine that like burnt like wood chips and
Oh, no.
like dispensed smoke to like put into the drinks. I'm like, what? I don't understand. Like that's so complicated for these people. It's unnecessary.
It's very complicated. It's a very elaborate drink, and oh my god, it's just there's so many issues with that I have.
It's like, hey, just teach these people how to be good, competent bartenders that can get
Right.
drinks out quickly. Like you don't have to get crazy.
Especially at a lot of these bars, I feel like you just teach these guys the basic drinks, and you're going to be good to go.
Or you have to say, or you have to say, hey, we're firing these bartenders and hiring like good bartenders or
Right.
like mixologists or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like the kitchen here this week, though, like there's no way that guy is being able to make like some of the dishes that we saw.
Yeah.
Like he's just like
So they basically redid the menu and they introduced flatbreads and then I think 3 different appetizers. It was like
Calamari was there.
big thing.
I didn't see what the other things were.
Yeah, so what I've seen in the show, they basically will give them like a pretty small menu to focus on. They'll put like 3 or 4 dishes and be like, okay, here's what you're making. This is it. To try to ease it. But again, yeah, they don't really. They kind of go over it once with the guy. Here's how you make this hamburger or whatever, right? And then the guy just has to do that forever now.
At least with this one, it was just like, okay, you put some bread down, you pop these things on it, put it in the oven, go.
Flatbread, super easy.
Right.
Yeah, and then the fried calamari was also just like, okay, cornmeal, and throw the calamari in there and good to go.
Yep.
They were really excited about the pizza oven in that kitchen. Apparently, it was a legit pizza oven in that kitchen.
Yep.
Yeah, like, I think pizza ovens are pretty expensive, so like a lot of times bars don't really have good ones.
That's what Jon Taffer was saying. Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm quoting Jon Taffer. Yeah,
There was a bar on this show that I think was making frozen pizzas and hamburgers, literally in a microwave, and serving it up.
sure.
Yeah, I'm not. That was a thing that happened.
That's okay.
So this is a big step up. They actually had legitimate equipment.
Yeah,
I think the only thing they didn't have was a freezer. That was like a consumer grade freezer or some shit.
Yeah, they made them throw that other freezer out, and I think they probably got them a new one. We didn't really see
We
that.
never saw if they got a new freezer. Maybe they're just.
We
They
saw
kinda skipped over that.
We saw the
piece.
dude scooping ice out of that big ice thing, but we didn't see a new freezer.
That's
I
true.
don't know.
Yeah, usually that's kind of a big thing of the show. Like they'll show like the new kitchen and like everything's clean and blah blah blah.
Yeah, we didn't
Kinda-
really see the kitchen. They ran out of time, and they decided
They were
not to
focused
film
on
it.
the wine dispenser, I guess.
It was too much work to get the front of the house done in 2 days. They couldn't get to the kitchen. I guarantee that's what happened.
Oh, for sure.
There was too much homeless action in this episode.
We had to talk about the.
It really was.
Stu definitely took up a lot of time in the show to talk about his different things he's excited about. What do we think about the name Fifth and Vine? Because it's not at the corner of Fifth and Vine.
So fucking confusing.
Well, it's the 5th borough though.
It's the fifth borough.
When I first saw it, I'm like, oh, this is a great name. It must be at the corner of Fifth and Vine. Not at all. It's the 5th borough, and they serve wine, which the grapes grow on vines. So I guess
Vine calls back to wine, and Vine sounds classy.
It does.
That was the description of why it's a great name.
Yeah, I don't really understand that name at all.
yeah. And like the thing is that now Jon Taffer has just named these people's bars, so they have to live with it now. Like even if they don't like the name, it's kind of hard to change it at this
There's
point.
signs everywhere
Yeah.
and like things.
Stu was real fired up about that name, though.
Oh.
He could not have been more excited.
So can we talk for a second about like the big reveal of the
Yes.
outside of the bar? So like they kind of remodel this bar, and they have the entire staff of the bar standing on the street, like facing the road, so they can't see the bar. And they're just like, all right, everyone, turn around and see your new bar. And then they turn around and start freaking out. Like, how are they able to line up on the sidewalk without seeing the outside of the bar? Like, did they blindfold them? If they did, they should have shown that, because that would have been better TV.
I'm sure if they were blindfolded, we would have seen them
You
blindfolded.
mean
Yeah.
this thing was really staged?
No, I mean, there's no doubt that they...
Yep.
James was just shaking his head.
I
over
think
there.
this scene was more than any other scene, the scene that makes the show look staged. Because it doesn't make any sense why they would just be standing and not having seen the building behind them.
So like at least on something like Extreme Home Makeover, they have the big bus and they say move that bus, and then they see the house, right? But in this, they're just standing in front of the bar.
Yeah.
I mean, the bus thing also.
It's also a little bit dubious.
It's a little
Yeah.
dubious there.
But
if you're gonna
and
be
like
dubious about this,
like having like had some insight into some of this kind of stuff, like when they film those reaction shots, they do multiple takes of that. It's like they'll do it and have like freak out. It's like, okay guys, like that was good, but like more energy, like seem like you're more excited this time. And then like they'll turn around and shoot again, kind of thing.
yeah,
So it's not supernatural.
Shocking.
I know, yeah.
Do you think they should have done that with the fireworks too? Like, I feel like there was not a lot of shock going along with when the fireworks went off
Yeah.
in the bar.
Jon Taffer was shocked.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean,
He's in that car, like, ah!
Jon Taffer has the greatest reactions ever. It's like his, oh my god, just everything about
He
that
just
guy.
freaks out constantly.
I like when his eyes bulge.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
So, was anybody else surprised in the show? Because, like, in the first 10 minutes, you're like, okay, there's going to be a shit ton of drama. There's going to be some biker fights. There's going to be something crazy happens. And then, we got to the end. I'm like, I guess that's the end. There wasn't actually a lot of drama, but then they also didn't really go through, like, they didn't talk about the kitchen. They didn't talk about the new bar stuff all that much. Like, everything felt kind of rushed to me. And I'm like, what actually was the drama in that show?
This was a pretty poor episode. There was like,
Yeah.
I agree with you, nothing really happened.
Right.
Like, they just turned a dive bar into a wine bar,
Right.
and that was it.
Which is kind of why I think that a lot of this stuff might not be staged, because if you were going to stage it, you would make it more interesting, right?
Well,
Fair.
they did add fireworks.
I mean,
Yeah, I feel like this just wasn't an interesting place.
it's like it seems feasible, but okay, so it's not an interesting place. That means it might be real, but like, because you can make anything into an interesting place when you make the situation up, right?
Sure. So I think with the show, what's real is that, there's obviously people with struggling bars out there. There's no surprise there, right? Restaurant and bar business is like a really hard business to be in. So I have no doubt that there are, multiple bars that are struggling, and Chris is stripping down in my living room right now.
I took my sweatshirt off. I'm sorry.
It was very distracting in my rant. Now I just don't know how to take you seriously. But anyways, I don't know why
Maybe
you also
you
winked.
got to tell Chris to
should
shave
I-
his beard so you can take him
you
seriously.
say that flipping beard. There was also a lot of F-bombs in this episode that were bleeped out, which was interesting.
Jon Taffer pulls no punches when
Oh
it
my
comes.
God.
Are there not
when it comes
usually?
to cursing? No, there are always.
Yeah.
Jon Taffer has some colorful language.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to meet that guy. I just want to have a conversation with that dude.
You have problems, man.
Why?
I feel like you want to be him someday.
I don't want to be Jon Taffer because he seems like a dick. But like, it'd be kind of fun to talk to
You've just
him.
been talking Jon Taffer up for like the last however many
I mean-
minutes. And you're just like, that guy is kind of not so great.
I mean, I think he would just be entertaining to talk to.
Fair, I guess. Anyways, I don't know where I was going with that tangent. But anyways, probably not that big of a deal.
What's not that big of a deal?
I don't know.
Okay, so you just decided to end your
Moving
thing
on.
with saying that.
And moving on.
Okay.
What are we moving on to?
Well, so the show ends, and they're like, "Yeah, bar's a big success. Everything's great."
Oh, yeah, that was my
Why
rant.
would-
Lack of drama.
Why didn't the bikers come and like bomb the bar or something? I feel like bikers, you kick them out of their bar, they're not just like, okay. Like, I feel like bikers, do things to sort of, show you can't mess with them. But I guess
kinda
I don't
like the
know
mob, right?
how bikers work.
I'm surprised there was no wheelies out front.
That would have been pretty good too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I kind of view biker gangs like the mob, right? Like I think that like the mob kind of similarly takes over restaurants like that. I'm basing most of this on Goodfellas. I don't,
feel
I
like
don't
you
know
have
that
a
much
really-
about the mob.
You have a really off perception of biker bars. Or,
No,
like biker gangs.
But like biker gangs, so okay, there are a wide range of biker gangs.
right. I mean, there's like Hell's Angels, and then
the-
there's the vast majority of
The
them.
ones that are on
Then there's us.
right. then there's our shitty bicycle biker.
The
gang.
Seattle.
the Seattles, yeah.
Seattles.
The ones on the extreme range, I could see kind of taking over a bar and like them, like the owner's not doing anything because they're scared of them. Like the really extreme ones. Like I think
Sure.
that's definitely within the realm of possibility.
Fair.
You know,
So you're saying the Staten Islands are that?
the Staten Islands.
are that?
I need to
level?
look that up.
I think the
man.
Staten Islands maybe are on the same level as the Seattles in terms of how intimidating they are. So maybe they are just really easy to be like, get out of the bar. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, they didn't want to be at a wine bar. They want to be at a dive bar.
they
But
want
they can
plastic
still
cups.
they can still send a message to the wine bar to be like, hey, you kicked us out of our dive bar.
Yeah, well, we don't know. They just didn't show on.
That's
the
a
show.
really specific message to send to the community. It's like, hey, if you have a bar that we like, you change the concept of it, we're gonna be angry at you. Like it's a really specific threat.
I guess so.
But yeah,
Yeah, the show was not good. I don't know what else to say about the show.
Yeah, I agree. I'm in the
This
same
is
boat.
also a really poor episode. It wasn't good.
Yeah. This is definitely the worst of the episodes I've seen.
I mean, I've only seen one other one, and it was better.
Yeah.
So I'm curious about, you said season 1 they do a lot more bar like science. Is
Mm-hmm.
there like not drama then?
No, there was actually more drama.
Okay.
So there was more
So
drama.
it's more
but
drama,
science.
there's more
So, like,
bar
the
science.
aspects of the show I like, or what I find interesting, is when they actually like explain, different things about it. Like, oh, you should have cups this size, or like whatever, right? And you're like, oh, I never thought about that, but I guess that sort of makes sense. And so they had a lot of that, and you're like, okay, bar stools at whatever 48 inches are the best height for a certain sort of vibe. And you're like, okay, cool. But then there would also be like all this crazy stuff. Like there was this one bar, it was like two brothers. It was like a sports bar. And then randomly, this is also why I think a lot of this show is staged, it was just a gay strip club. It was like, what?
what?
Yeah, no, it's just a sports bar. All of a sudden, it's just full-on male nudity strip
So
club.
Jon Taffer turned it into a gay strip club.
No. So that's what it was previously. And he's like,
Oh.
this is crazy. You are driving all of your customers away. You have to stop doing this immediately.
Except for the
And
gay
basically the
strippers.
owners were like strippers. So they're just like, they brought the stripping into the bar thing. It was crazy. Like, yeah, we wanted to own a sports bar, but we're also strippers. And so, like, they're just like, all right, here's your, like, rum and Coke, and just take their shirt off and start stripping.
Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So, like, that shows crazy shit happening. Like, this is out of hand.
I want to see the episode where Jon Taffer turns the bar into
Oh, man.
He starts
I mean-
swearing at the owners, be like, "This is what I'm doing to your bar." They're like, "What? What?"
I mean, like, he's done the analysis of the neighborhood, and he's like, hey, you're in a gay neighborhood.
Yeah.
Here's how we're going to make you successful. Gay strip club.
Or bear bar.
Yeah, bear bar, yeah.
Turn into a bear bar.
Yeah.
This
Oh, man.
This episode was just, like a dab of bar science and like a dab of drama.
Yeah.
And that was the end.
Like-
Like really?
Like,
What happened?
there have definitely been more radical changes. Like, I was watching one time where they're like these guys who just graduated from college were running like this hookah bar. And it's just because they really liked hookah. They're just really big on hookah. It's like, I want to own a hookah bar, which like it's like a lifestyle business. It kind of makes sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then he comes in, he's like, "Fuck hookah! No one uses hookah. This place can be a club." And then he turns it into a club. These guys have no idea how to run a club like at all.
Oh man, that was actually a pretty interesting episode. That was a pretty good
Yeah,
one.
for sure.
It was season 1, I think, or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
We could post it or something. but
we
that
did
was actually
watch
interesting.
a clip of a raccoon in the bar.
Yeah, we did.
Which seemed real staged.
yeah,
Like literally, there was like all these people in the bar, and then they were like shoot to this flash of like a raccoon, and there was no one in the bar. And then they'd like go back to all the people. Then they flash the raccoon, and there was no one.
yeah.
And
Just
they
barely
were back
like,
like,
hey, what
they,
was that?
They had people looking shocked at something, like, "Oh, what's that?"
Yeah.
But they didn't say what it was.
So like, how do they have that conversation with the owners of the bar? It's like, hey, we're going to do this episode of the show. Here's the stipulation. We have to make it look like there's a raccoon in your bar, or else it's not going to be interesting.
No, it's like they just show up, and then the next day the producer's like, "What if there was a raccoon in the bar?
Yeah.
Let's just film this."
Well, again, I feel like they're like, how can we add some more drama and like ridiculousness to this and like push it over the top? Somebody's like, well, there's a raccoons out here. We can just grab one of those and throw it in the bar.
So you're hold on. So you don't think that went and obtained that raccoon from like animal control? You think the producers are chasing around raccoons outside of the bar?
I like to imagine that, but realistically, they probably went to like animal control and like got a raccoon that would.
this
didn't
was
have
a
rabies.
trained raccoon.
I don't know if it was trained, but I guarantee it didn't have rabies.
I mean, I bet they have trained raccoons in like L.A. Probably.
I'm sure in LA.
Yeah.
This is what I think of with the bar. I bet there was something about there being a raccoon in the bar,
Right.
not when Jon Taffer was there.
So they
There
didn't
were
have
like
it on film.
people had stories of like, yeah, I know. One time there's this raccoon problem in the bar, but they don't have it on film, like you said. So they're like, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna stage the filming of the raccoon in the bar, even though it's a true story that like they didn't come up with.
They're gonna recreate it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It's
feel like
probable.
they should have had the recreate it, banner.
This
on
is a
that show.
reenactment.
This is a reenactment.
Yeah.
No raccoons were harmed in the filming of this episode.
Oh man. Yeah.
All right.
But anyways, yeah, that is one of the best intros though, because they later go on to use that in the intro, right?
Yeah, so that leads to one of the great quotes from Jon Taffer, which they then use in the intro for the show, where he just goes, "There's a raccoon in your bar." He's like just yelling like that. It's like
And
he's
eyes
so
just
angry,
bugging out.
Yeah, like Well, I mean, I feel like he's justifying being angry at a bar owner for that.
Is that your best impression?
Yeah, you can try if you want.
There's a raccoon in your bar.
What?
Why did Jon Taffer get an accent all of a sudden?
I don't know. It was good. I had to do it.
That was a good one. Does anyone else want to give it a shot? Rob?
James, go ahead.
There's a lot of pressure. I haven't really practiced.
All right,
my
James,
raccoon.
just
coming
give it
in
up.
cold.
Just give it up.
There's a raccoon in your bar.
That's pretty good. That's a good one.
All right, I'll try it, even though
Okay.
I know I'm not going to do a good job.
There's a raccoon in your bar. I feel like there was a hint of like Asian accent on that.
A
or something.
little bit.
Brian, you want to give us one here?
Oh, I guess I got us into reels did.
There's a raccoon in your bar. I love everyone's interpretation.
There was an accent there that I can't really pinpoint.
All right, guys. Let's go with some drinking.
I think
games.
Harrison probably had the best one because he's clearly practiced this one many times.
I've been saying this for a while.
This is what he does in the shower in the morning.
Yeah, I actually, like,
There's a raccoon in your
like some people listen to music and sing like when they're in the shower. I just play the intro to Bar Rescue on repeat and just.
Do you have like an auto-tune version with like a YouTube video just on loop?
Yep.
Yeah.
You just have like a waterproof TV in there. You're just watching it.
Hey man, that would be great. That's just good thinking.
That's so creepy. The only thing you watch when you're showering is Jon Taffer.
Oh no. Just Bar Rescue on loop.
Yeah.
Just the intro video though.
I mean, those eyes. You got.
I mean, you definitely want a TV in the shower. That's a pretty good thing to have.
I feel like I'd spend too much time in the shower if I had a TV in my shower. Because I would want to like watch a whole episode of stuff.
that could go in a dangerous direction there.
Yeah.
but I feel like
Is that what you do with the TV? In
I'm
the
just
shower?
saying, I'd spend too much time in the shower if I had a TV in my shower.
We got it.
okay. Where, oh no.
I feel like it's obtainable. You just get
Yeah.
a waterproof case for your iPad. Just sit in the
No,
shower.
I want in-wall TV.
Well, then put it in the wall.
Yeah. I just want to watch some CNN in the morning while get my news while I'm showering.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what you want to do with a TV in the shower.
What are you implying, Chris?
Oh, you know what I'm implying.
I have no idea actually.
All right, let's go.
You gotta stop
let's move
winking.
over to this drinking game segment.
Before we get to the drinking rules, I did a little bit of research about is flaming shots legal or not. I didn't find anything super definitive,
Okay.
but it sounds like there's no laws against it, but bar owners tell their employees all the time, don't do this, it's illegal. Because it's a bad idea to do it in a bar in general, and so they just tell them it's illegal, but
It's
it's
also-
not actually illegal.
It's also like a huge liability,
Oh,
too.
yeah.
Because like if you let your patrons take flaming shots, they're going to light their face on fire.
Yeah, well, the thing
You
I
don't-
found talked about, that totally happens at bars,
Yeah.
and they get sued, and so that's why don't do it, even though it's not technically
Wait,
illegal.
what shots are you doing while it's still on fire?
Have you not seen YouTube?
Yeah.
With all the flaming shots of fails.
Just Google flaming shot fail
Yeah.
or something.
Well, those
and
are
it's-
idiots.
No, it's pretty good.
There's
I mean, yeah, a lot
oh,
of them.
man.
There's some that are real dumb, but there's a lot that are just people trying to do a flaming shot,
There's that.
and it turns into a disaster immediately.
There's like that one where like the shots are already on fire, and the guy's trying to like pour this bottle of 151 on it, and took like the flame arrestor off, and it just turns into a flamethrower into this girl's face.
Yeah, it did.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's also great when the one guy takes the flaming shot and like immediately regrets it, spits it out, and just spits a flame out and lights his friends on fire. Oh no!
Endless hours of entertainment.
Yeah, it's worth your while.
I think we might have to post some of these on the Facebook page.
Oh, absolutely.
no.
All right, and now let's get the drinking rules.
wait. I forgot. Brian, do you have an update on this bar?
Oh, so I do have an update on this bar. This is probably the best thing about this. Go on Yelp and search for the old ratings versus the new ratings.
So yeah, what was the old?
So apparently, this old place used to be like a music venue,
Yeah, so
right,
they
they
said
had
that
a
in the
stage.
beginning of the episode. They
Yeah.
have like hot bands come in.
and they also don't mention anything about the bikers. Which, if the bikers were
Staged.
real, somebody's going to mention
So
it.
it looks like I'm looking at your screen here. It looks pretty decent.
Yeah, it's got like 4.5 stars. And then,
So there was how many reviews, Brian?
Well, it was a hot bar at some point in time.
I think there was like 7.
yeah, it looks like 7.
So there were 7 reviews.
What
a
year? What year are
bunch,
those ratings
yeah.
from?
Can we see what year the reviews are from?
Also,
They were
can
from
we-
like 2012, 2011.
Also, can we
Oh,
filter by
2013 also.
lowest rating? See what like the worst review is.
The
Well, like what's
The- the worst one looks like a 3-star.
What's the worst?
Huh.
So what does the worst one say? Like what's that short worst? 3-star
used to be a
one say?
cool place to play if you were in a band and go watch your friends play. Owners changed, I think, but haven't been back in quite a while. For live music and weekends is worth a look since there aren't many places to go for that.
Okay.
Doesn't even seem like that bad of a review.
Also,
Yeah.
So I just did like a quick like cursory internet search for the Staten Island's biker gang, and I couldn't find any info.
Yup.
I also don't know if biker gangs have websites. I don't think they do.
They probably have like a wiki or something, right?
I mean, they might have a Twitter.
There was like no info at all about this biker gang I could find.
I feel like the bikers themselves don't have a website, but there might be information about it on the internet from other sources.
I mean, if it's not on the internet, it doesn't exist.
That's true.
All right, and you got the new Yelp ratings, Brian?
Yeah. So there's actually a few. So a good one is this. Like talk about what a beautiful transformation. Comfortable, modern decor. I don't drink much booze, but I noticed the bar was well stocked with premium brands. The wines I selected were held at perfect temperature and fairly priced. I didn't try their food yet, but I have a few simple selections that pair well with the wine.
That was written by Jon Taffer.
No,
So that was
I
a
mean,
4-star review.
yeah,
in
back from the beginning-
2014.
yeah,
It's written by Stu.
And here's the other thing that I noticed about the reviews on here. Like back in the beginning of like October, a little before that, they were pretty good, and then they slowly went downhill as time went on. And here's a review posted from today.
Oh,
yes.
a live update.
Which take with a grain of salt because this episode just came out, so now you might get some people.
There's
posting
actually more
shit.
episodes after. Oh wait, no.
No,
Yeah.
no, this aired October 21st or something.
Yeah.
It aired
Yeah.
recently.
So take recent ratings with the grain of salt because I think that people like to go and fuck with these ratings after the show's been out
Sure.
for a little bit.
They could, yeah. No one greeted us as we walked in, and the first thing the owner asked us was, "You guys saw the show?" He wouldn't stop talking about it. It was very awkward. The sliders were hockey pucks. You could smell the burnt ends with congealed cheese on top. Menu said that there were before we received 3. We were given paper plates and no utensils. The owner told us after we ordered that he needs to run a credit card to hold the order to prevent theft. He said Jon Taffer told him to do that.
That's a great excuse for
Yeah.
anything. Jon Taffer told me to do it.
Yeah,
I never heard of that before. It's very clear that no one cares in the place. We couldn't wait to leave and finish our night at Liberty Tavern. The vodka bacon pizza was the silver lining. That was delicious. But clearly that wasn't enough to give it like 2 stars.
Yeah. So how many reviews are we looking at now for this place? Is there a
There's
bunch,
like
or-
8.
8. Okay. And kind of mixed, or is it like all the recent ones are negative?
Definitely the most recent ones are negative. And they've gone a downward trend.
Well, this
That's
is
a
after
shame.
the show aired, though.
Yeah.
No. Like that's the only one that's like from like.
No, most
did
of
they,
these are
did the
still
episode
October.
air today?
No, it aired in like
It aired a
October.
few weeks ago, I think.
Okay.
I'm looking at it right. Well,
Because you're gonna get different clientele in that place right now.
yeah.
Right.
It's October 19th. Let's see.
Yeah, I think that people just like to go on Yelp and talk shit like about bar rescue places. I don't know who does that, but I assume some people do.
I mean, we could probably assume that they're not running the bar all that well,
Right.
because they were like a rock dive bar, and now they're a wine bar.
Yeah,
Sure.
The weird thing is that like the day before they had like a couple of reviews that are like bad, where it's just like one just says good food 3 stars. There was like good wine, worst service I've ever had. 1 star.
Stu.
Damn it, Stu.
Well, Stu was serving the food, right?
Yeah, I guess he was running the kitchen now.
Yeah.
And not really cooking,
If
just
if
like
Stu
I don't.
was a
Yeah, I
real
was
person.
like running the kitchen. You mean just taking the food from the kitchen? He's kind of like a waiter.
Oh,
He's
Yeah.
the guy who like says, "I need another order of flatbread."
Yeah,
I need
he
a-"
was
you
like-
know, and so he's like the person who tells the cooks what to make next, and then make sure that it gets served out properly.
yeah, he's like the expediter, I think, in the kitchen.
That was a heave. All right, so let's go into drinking rules. Anytime Jon Taffer's eyes are bugging out, you gotta take a drink.
How about every time you see like a health code violation, take a drink?
Totally agree on that one.
That's a good one.
Yep. So mine is anytime Jon Taffer starts throwing stuff around the bar, just anything, glass bottles, food, ice, kitchen equipment, anything. Just go ahead and drink while he's throwing it. Yeah, I mean, spoilers.
He threw a lot of things in this
He,
episode.
he throws a lot of things.
He's an
Carrots
angry
were
dude.
thrown.
He's also just making like the cleanup situation worse. He's just throwing glass bottles around and stuff. He's like, oh my god.
At least he waits for them to clear the bar before he starts throwing glass bottles.
Is this one empty? No. Is this one empty?
Yeah, he was throwing bottles that he was like, "Is this?" That he said was trying to make a point they were empty, but then he picked
Right.
one up that clearly was not empty, and then just like threw it as if it was empty anyway. It
Yep.
was really bizarre.
I mean, he's gotta be throwing things.
I mean, he was just in the zone.
He was definitely in a zone.
Yeah,
Oh man, he had a Tool Academy moment where he just heaved that beer.
yeah. He did heave a beer.
Yeah.
All right, Rob, you got one?
What about does it make sense to have one where it's like where you see people ordering a drink, you take a drink because you're at a bar and stuff.
Drink
What-
anytime
what-
someone takes a drink in the show.
I feel like-
I think if someone takes a drink, I feel
I
might
feel
be
like if
too
you want
much.
to play the bonus game, you should
Oh, hard
drink
mode.
every time everyone else is
oh
drinking.
God.
I like that. I like that rule.
I do have another one, but I feel like Brian. What do you got?
So I have one based on like whatever mixed drink that they're going to introduce to the bar.
Oh, do you want to try to make that drink?
No, I thought about that, but like
Good idea. They're usually
The-
terrible.
And they
first
also-
off, second off, like it's usually like you have to get like this random liquor that like nobody's going to have in their place. Screw
well,
that.
'cause it's
So just
a
do a
bar.
shot instead.
No, so you drink like one drink of beer for every liquid based thing in there, and one shot of liquor for every non non-liquid in there. Because
What?
there's usually like
What?
smoke in there,
So
or
if it's smoke, then you have to do like an ounce of your favorite shot.
yeah, or
And
like,
then, like-
or it makes you put in a parasol. That's also one.
Okay.
Why don't you do like
Cherries.
for every alcoholic drink you take a sip of beer. For every non-alcoholic you take a shot.
That's dangerous.
Yeah.
There's only like one an episode.
No.
No, but like there
are
could be like
sometimes multiple
strawberry,
mixology drinks.
lime, whatever.
All right, well, bonus episode.
Hard mode.
Hard mode.
Yeah. So my other one was going to be every time a customer steals or doesn't pay for a drink, you also have to drink.
So that's a pretty good one.
So you drink every time Jon Taffer orders them to close the bar.
Yeah, I like
I-
that.
I feel like anytime people get frustrated, which will happen later in the episodes more than the beginning episodes.
How about chug? As long as somebody's telling like a heartwarming, heartfelt sort of backstory, something like that.
I think that's a good one.
My father's bar. I'm just trying to.
Yeah.
Like mostly when I was thinking of drinking rules, it was like very Stu specific drinking rules. And
Yeah.
I was like, that's you can't really, I'm sure Stu is not in every episode of the show.
Well, I mean-
he's the actor they bring to every
It's true. He's the
every
recurring
bar.
actor.
That would be amazing.
Every
This is
episode.
always in disguise.
Every episode, I want you to shave that beard and come back tomorrow.
Oh, that'd be so good.
That's great. That's great.
I feel like there could also be a community one where if you're watching with friends, every time someone just yells out, "This shit is staged," you have to drink.
Yeah.
That happens.
Do we know if there's any of these bars that have been on the show that are in the greater Seattle area? Because I would love to go to one of these bars and interview like the owners just about the bar rescue experience. They might have signed like an NDA or something, but
That would have been some great
I
research
doubt
to
it.
do
Apparently
before
not,
the episode.
because the guy walked
Potentially,
into this
yeah.
bar and was like, "Oh, you must have seen us on the show, Jon Taffer." Yeah, am I right?
J-Taff, yeah.
Yeah, he told me to get your credit card so you don't steal anything. Welcome to this classy establishment. We're gonna go ahead and chain the cups
Perceived
down.
value.
The chains had weight.
Wait, are they just
so-
saying they're opening a tab for these people?
Yeah.
So according to Wikipedia, there are none from Washington.
God damn it.
Yeah,
And
th-
what,
th- they're probably-
any
Where's the
locations that we'll
closest
go
one?
to?
It's a lot of East Coast stuff, right?
yeah. There's a lot of East Coast stuff. We can go to Palm Beach, Florida. We can hit up Pennsylvania bars.
Palm Beach, Florida is literally the farthest one from us.
Okay. Well, my bad. Okay. Well, we can go to Philly and hit up Downey's Irish
Philadelphia is definitely not the closest bar.
It can't be.
Can we get
Oh,
something
you're talking
closer
about,
than
like,
2,000 miles
Pub.
away?
Oh, you're talking about like close to here right now. Oh,
Yeah?
We're close to what?
well, no, I was like, well, we all like a lot of us live on the East Coast.
None
You
of us
know,
live on the East
None of
Coast.
us live there.
We all live here.
Some of us may have grown up there.
That's true.
That's true.
But
I mean, to be fair,
So we're gonna have to go to California to do that.
Okay. Whereabouts?
do we have to
Southern?
go to San Fran?
Tustin?
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, if there's one in
Go to
Tustin.
What about the bar that was on Bully Beatdown? I feel like that bar could be on the show.
I don't think that was a real bar, man.
Yeah, because all these things are staged.
See, what about this? We recently went out for dinner at a bar, and the service wasn't that great.
Oh,
Do we need to try to get that bar onto Bar Rescue?
I like that idea a lot.
Oh my god, that is very true.
I mean, that place is bumping. There were a lot of people in that bar.
Well, it was like
I'm
a
not trying
sports
to-
bar.
I'm not trying to blast these people
Right.
on a podcast. but,
We
yeah.
we were at a sports bar during college football Saturday
Yeah.
and got some really odd and slow service, in my opinion,
Well, it took us 3 hours to eat dinner in this bar.
which was pub food mostly.
Yeah, pub. It was like we ordered things like chicken wings and grilled cheese, and it took like 3 hours.
It wasn't quite 3 hours, but it was a real long time.
It was. I mean, it was about as long as Interstellar.
Well, Interstellar is 3 hours.
Yeah.
So
That's true.
the real thing was they brought out. It took a long time for the food to come out, and then they brought out 80% of the food, and then clearly had forgotten to put in all the orders and didn't do. Well, let's do a rush order because we're behind. They just put it into the queue from scratch to get the rest of the food out. That was the real thing that they messed up.
Yeah, and just general awkwardness of service.
I guess we should have gone Jon Taffer on them.
Oh
Right.
man, dude. What if we pretended that we were Jon Taffer and said that we were there to rescue their bar and ordered them to shut down their
Yes.
bar?
Shut down this bar.
Get everyone out now. We were going to have a conversation. Get your employees and meet me in 10 minutes.
5 minutes. I want this bar empty.
Dude, I feel like we could just pick up a couple cameras and start doing that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yeah.
Can't even.
This is Bar Rescue. We're here to rescue your bar.
Rescue your bar.
You have to bring a raccoon.
Yeah.
Be like,
There's a raccoon in your bar.
Yeah. That's
Oh my
seems,
God,
seems great.
I really like this idea.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Maybe we'll do that as some bonus content for Facebook.
It's true. Do you think that, so the bar that we were at, there was like this sticker on the ceiling that was showing like exposed brick? Do you think that that was perceived value?
I think that was the opposite of perceived value, actually.
So, is this show worse than Real Housewives of New Jersey?
I mean, I'm going to say no. Like, it's definitely better than Real Housewives of New Jersey.
So here's my quick take on it. The first ever episode of this, was real interesting. I'm like, oh, what is this crazy show? I heard about it from some friends. I'm like, oh, this is real exciting, real interesting. And then you get about 2-3 episodes in, and you're like, it's kind of just the same thing over and over again. And then after seeing this episode, I'm just like, this show has just gone off the deep end and gone terrible. So it's...
But
I
compare
don't
this
know.
to Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Oh, God. But that show, I don't know if that show was just bad because I didn't have any context on it because we watched the random episode in the middle of a season. Oh, I don't know.
I'm going to go with no. This show is real staged
Yeah.
and is real formulaic,
Yeah.
but it does have more learning in it than Real Housewives of New Jersey.
There's a couple
There's
of
some sort of bar science they
Sure.
attempt to go through.
I would definitely like more bar science. I feel like if the show is done by like an FYI network or like a Discovery Channel, this might be a little bit more educational.
This was our first Spike
See, Spike TV, yeah,
Spike TV
Was
reality
no
show.
Bully Beatdown was MTV.
yeah, that was MTV.
We've done a real smattering. I feel we've hit most of the major
Most of
networks.
the networks.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like Spike TV is kind of a weird channel. It's like TV for dudes. This is all dude TV. It's kind of weird. I mean,
It doesn't sound
all
okay when you
dudes.
say it like that.
I mean,
all
like, I
dudes,
guess,
all the time, always in your face.
I mean, like, I guess it's kind of the contrast to like your Lifetime or Oxygens of the world, but
Sure. All
Yeah.
girls, all the time. I mean,
Yeah.
to be fair, that sounds like most dudes would probably be interested in that channel.
there are channels like that, James. You're just
you can watch him. You can watch him in the shower if you want to. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. But I'm already watching the news in the shower. Now I need 2 TVs?
Yeah, I mean, it's picture in picture.
Oh, multitasking.
There you go.
You could also watch naked news in the shower.
No, nobody wants any of that. But to answer your question,
No one wants it.
No one wants what?
naked news, that'd be terrible.
What do you mean?
Nobody wants. I don't want
take-
news from naked people. Why would I want that?
What
some
do you
people
mean?
want it.
You just said you wanted to watch CNN and you wanted to watch All Girls All the Time at the
No.
same time.
I don't want those 2 things. I just kind of want to wake up and have the CNN on to get my news in the morning.
Yeah, well, you just have hot girls that get naked.
I don't
tell
need
you
that in the
same
morning
thing.
when I'm trying to just take a shower. I don't know what you're doing in the shower, apparently.
Well, I don't have a TV in my shower, so I don't know what you're doing.
So what do you do? Just iPod? What do you go with
I
there?
don't do anything in the shower.
You're implying all these things happen in the shower. I'm just
You're
trying to
the
take a
one
shower.
saying you want a TV in your shower.
To watch the news. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know why.
The naked news.
The naked news. That's what I
Nobody wants
heard.
naked. That's such a weird concept. Is that a thing?
No, that's
Yeah.
a thing. Yeah.
Oh my god. No, that's
All right,
terrible.
Rob. Is this show worse than Real Housewives of New Jersey?
no. Like I thought the show was entertaining, but like what James was saying, I haven't seen many episodes of the show. I think it would get old real fast. Like I don't think this is a show you commit to. Like what? Oh, I'm going to watch like a season of this show. Like I think after 3, you're probably like, okay, I never need to watch that show ever again. But I thought it was, I had a lot of fun watching Jon Taffer's eyes bug out and stuff. So
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely the kind of thing where, maybe if it's on, you'll just flip it on, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to just watch an entire season of this thing. I mean, like, if you've never seen the show, I'd watch an episode.
Yeah, I mean, if you've never seen it, an episode or 2 is fine.
Sure.
I do think it gets real old.
Yeah, like,
I mean, I've seen 2 episodes and I already think it's old.
I mean, like I've definitely in random conversations dropped some of the bar science knowledge I've learned from Bar Rescue. I mean, there's this one piece in one of the episodes that's like, hey, you have to buy like the 750 ml like liquor bottles instead of like the handles because with handles the bartenders can't pour it accurately, so there's overpouring and you waste liquor. Whereas with like the regular 750s, like they can pour it more accurately. Like that's kind of a cool. Like that's why bars have that, even though it's more economical to buy, like in terms of like dollars per ounce with the big ones,
It's
right?
probably more economical to buy like like a huge barrel.
And just have them pour it out of the barrel
Yeah. Well, there's have a little spout.
with the nitrogen
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Yeah, sure.
Brian, what are you gonna go here?
No way. It's not worse than the Real Housewives of New York. Or
New Jersey.
Sorry.
Also New York.
There's a billion other shows. What do I care? I'm probably only going to watch like one more episode, and that's the one with the raccoon in your bar quote. But after that, I'm like, whatever.
I certainly wouldn't watch that now. After we've seen that clip,
But you didn't hear him say the line.
I want to see if Jon Taffer has to deal with the raccoon like coming back in.
If Jon Taffer wrestles a raccoon in that episode, I'm fucking in. It'd be great.
Jon Taffer's going to be like, the one thing I told you had to do was no raccoon in the bar. I got the raccoon to leave. It's like, I didn't want him in the bar.
Oh, man.
all right,
So good.
all right. So next week we're gonna watch Hillbilly Blood. Brian, you want to give us the studio description on this one?
Sure. In Cold Mountain, North Carolina, the land is beautiful and the living is tough. In a remote region full of bizarre superstitions, colorful characters, and deep-rooted tradition, folks live off the land just like their parents, grandparents, and great-grandparents before them, carrying on the custom of getting by with little and making do with less. When it comes to living the hard-scrabble Appalachian life, there's nothing better than Eugene Runkus, who's got hillbilly ingenuity running through his veins.
Eugene Runkus.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And his mountain brother, Spencer Two Dogs Bulljack, who has unlocked the secret.
Wait. Eugene Runkus and Spencer Balljack?
Yeah.
These got to be made up
Oh,
names.
no.
Well,
I mean, they've just been living
I don't
here
think
forever.
those are mother-given names.
I don't, think,
Balljack.
I don't think anybody gave those names.
I think they've earned that name, really.
We'll talk about it next week.
Balljack. That's an earned name.
Well, Spencer Two Dogs Bulljack, who has unlocked the secrets to backwoods survival. Watch Hillbilly Blood to get an inside look at the lives of these mountain men.
So
Thank
this
you-
is
thank
this
you,
is kind
Brian.
of like Doomsday Preppers plus Duck Dynasty. Right.
I don't know that it's so much doomsday preppers as it's just, people living out in the woods doing stuff and surviving.
Yeah, that's kind of what Doomsday Preppers is.
Not really. They're prepping and
Well,
they're preparing.
That's
they
a
have
part
their
of
normal
Doomsday
lives.
Preppers.
That was-
Like
that
there's
was
their
the one
day to day
guy, yeah.
life. There's also their like contingency plans for like what they're going to do.
These guys are not planning ahead.
There's just no
They're just
contingency
how are we going
plans.
to cook dinner tonight?
Sure.
Right. So I actually have a drinking rule ahead of time for this that maybe we should follow.
Uh-oh.
So here's the rule. It's a slight spoiler, but not that big. Every time they engineer something out of a propane tank, go ahead and take a drink.
It's a solid rule.
Yeah.
That's a good rule, yeah.
All right. So I think that's the end.
Question mark?
Question mark?
I'm Ron
Dramatic
Burgundy.
pause.
All right.
You didn't say dramatic pause.
That was
so now we
definitely a
don't know.
dramatic pause.
Dramatic pause. I guess, does anyone have any plugs? Rob, you have any plugs?
You can find me on Twitter at RobKitz.
Harrison?
You can follow me on Twitter at Harrison Hoffman.
James?
I'm on Twitter at CanesJ3.
Brian?
At Monkey Suck.
All right, you can follow me on Twitter at the Chris Lorenz, and you can find us on Facebook.com/WhoPutThisOn. You can follow us on Twitter at WhoPutThisOn. See you guys next week.